Hello and welcome to another one of my Stormworks videos. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to set up a weather station using the custom touch controller that I've made available on my Steam Workshop listed in the description below. The main features of this customized microcontroller are puts out on a touch display 4 different screens, one for temperature, one for wind, one for rain, and one for fog or humidity. On each screen, you get a readout. For temperature, it will be in degrees Fahrenheit. For wind, you'll have a readout, just a generalized compass direction, being north, northeast, east, and so on and so forth. And then you also receive a speed in miles per hour. Rain, you get a percentage, either 0% to a maximum of 100% for 100% rainfall. And then the same thing for fog or humidity. And you get a scroll menu where you can cycle left or right through each screen. Another feature of this microcontroller is its ability to fit any size screen of your choosing. Without further ado, let's travel inside the workbench and see how to set this thing up. So we're here inside the workbench, and I'm going to walk you through the components that you need to connect this weather station and get it to be fully functional. So the first thing we'll do is we'll pull out all of our sensors, and all these sensors are optional. If you decide not to hook them up, then it's just going to display a default readout that isn't going to be updated. So if you don't want a particular sensor, you could just ignore that screen. So we'll need a temperature probe, a wind sensor. We'll also need a humidity sensor and a rain sensor. We'll also need a monitor. I find that this works best on a 1x1 or a 2x2 monitor, though it is resizable to any size screen. It's just going to be a much more condensed look if you put it on a smaller monitor, either the 1x1 or the 2x2. I feel like the 5x3 and the 9x5 are just a little large. So we'll put our monitor down like so. We'll attach a button so we can turn it on and off. We'll just go ahead and connect that external input to the toggle to the power switch, and then run both of these to power so we don't forget to do this later. And then we'll go back to here and we'll place down all of our sensors. So we'll just do our rain sensor there, our humidity sensor, our temperature probe, and then our wind sensor. So an interesting thing about the wind sensor is, in order to get this to work correctly, this sensor needs to be oriented the correct way. So depending the direction your boat faces, the front of the hole, on this boat here would be the front, and at the particular dock that I'm at, it faces south when we spawn in. So I would just orient this sensor to where it points to the front of the boat, so when it spawns in it will be pointing south. If you don't have the sensor pointing south when it spawns in, then you will not get an accurate compass direction on the display. So with that being said, make sure your sensor is pointing south or it will not work. So now we have all of our sensors in. We have our display, we have our toggle button. The only thing left is to add the microcontroller. From here, we can go into the logic tab. We can you can go ahead and start with the data tab. We'll connect temperature to the temperature input. We'll connect the rain factor sensor to the rain factor input. We'll connect the humidity factor sensor to the humidity factor input, wind direction to the direction input, and then speed to the speed input. Next, we'll connect our touch input, and we'll also connect our video output. Double check that everything is powered up and all of our logic nodes are correctly connected. Then we can spawn our ship to test if it works. We can double check through the custom menu to make sure that we're getting the appropriate readouts. We're currently reading 24 miles per hour and a heading of east, which is correct. Next, we can check rain. We have it set to 28%. We see that we get 28% on the readout. We can also check fog. We'll put it to 59%. It correctly reads 59%. And temperature, unfortunately, there's no way to change how hot or cold it is in the environment. But it looks to be reading correctly. And now that we've done all of our checks, we know that our entire ship has been configured correctly. Our entire system is working. And the only thing left to do now is to have fun monitoring the weather with this fully functional, scrollable weather display. Thanks for watching. I hope you have fun with this microcontroller.